New technology allows sheriff's deputies to find out more about you just by your license plate. I'll tell you how. The protest has been going on since about 4:30. There's about 10 people here so far. Most of them are holding signs like this one right here. There's over 2,000 acres of land here at Rockbridge State Park. That's a lot of land and a ton of work that needs to get done. This is just a black and white printout of what the stickers will look like, but normally they're hot pink, and as you can see right here, there are boxes that you can check off. They brought in some trucks that are ready to do some heavy lifting, and there's even some of the woodwork done. Here's a frame to one of the windows. Officers involved with Operation Aaron have spent months preparing for today. Aaron stands for Enforcement Response and Interdiction of Narcotics. It's also the identity given to an undercover officer who took part in the 73 sales cases of the Sting unit.
And this investigation actually resulted in 31 suspects being identified over the course of the 7-month period.
You know what's going on, and but the number of people is what I'm really surprised about.
Police say the dealers made 38 sales with an undercover officer within 2,000 feet of a school.
It doesn't really surprise me, and no, we usually stay with a pretty good crowd, so it doesn't worry me in that sense.
Police issued 32 arrest warrants with a total bond of almost $9.2 million. Now 26 of the 32 defendants are in custody. Chad Mira, KOMU 8 News, Sedalia. Angie, if I was an officer with this technology, I could drive through that parking garage right there. I could drive through this parking lot by all these cars, or I could even just drive down the street. And every license plate I pass will be scanned by my cameras, and information on that driver will be put in the laptop in my car. I rode along with an officer who showed me just how the technology works in action. I also found out who's not on board with it.
The plate, the state, what record or type it is, which is an ordinance violation.
As Detective Shane Placeway points out, the license plate readers, or LPRs, tell an officer a lot, just by driving by the car. Richmond Heights Police Department started using LPRs in November.
200-300 hits per month, I imagine.
Hundreds of hits on wanted people, and tens of thousands of scans. When the camera reads a plate, it compares it to a database of criminals and will sound an alarm if there is a match. The system stores the information like this, but it is not 100% accurate. This license plate here is registered either lost or stolen. Now I'm standing right in front of the police car, and as you could hear, the siren went off. But if I was just to walk a couple lanes of traffic over, that might not be the case. Despite its faults, the police department is still impressed.
It takes about a second.
In a 60-day trial period, the CPD made more than 10 arrests and recovered a stolen car thanks to the LPRs.
Those arrests most likely would not have occurred without the license plate recognition system.
However, these results don't matter to everyone. Mitch Richards has been involved in protests against security cameras downtown.
And so we're out here today to express our love of freedom, of liberty, of our constitutional and natural rights, and most of all of our dignity as human beings.
His problem is with the added surveillance in general.
There are people out there that are criminals, and perhaps that they could be caught by these cameras, but what we are giving up to have those few criminals, taken into account is just not worth it.
We're using this as a tool to catch criminals. It's not to be utilized as a surveillance tool per se.
Richards is worried more cameras means less freedom.
We have dignity. We're supposed to respect the individual, respect freedom, and if we abandon those, we abandon who we are as Americans and as a republic.
There would be policies in place to prevent anybody from misusing the information or the system.
Departments already using LPRs have seen powerful results. Placeway even heard a story of LPRs helping solve a homicide in a different state.
I can't imagine somebody not wanting this. This is a tool that gives us the ability to do so much more than we can do without it.
The department is trying to get approval for this technology, but the city council is cautious moving forward because of privacy concerns. Richenberger hopes CPD will buy the readers within the next couple months. The Sheriff's Department doesn't need approval from the council, so you will see the readers on their cars no matter what. To find out more on how these LPRs work, check out our website, KOMU.com. Reporting live in Columbia, Chad Mira, KOMU 8 News.
Amazing stuff. Thanks a lot, Chad.
Fans aren't the only thing pouring into the stadium, but the grounds crew has very little work thanks to the field's drainage system and artificial turf.
Having an artificial surface on a day like today makes all the difference in the world.
Stanley remembers what a grass field meant for his crew before Mizzou installed turf for the 2003 season.
Right now we'd be trying to figure out what time we were going to take the tarps off and what kind of condition the field would be in beneath those tarps and how long we could keep that field in good condition for play tonight.
Instead, they can just let the drainage system do its job.
Stanley says Faroe Field can drain up to 5 inches of water an hour. That's in large part thanks to the sloped field that brings a lot of the water to this system that runs along the outside of it. There's a system over here that keeps the stands from flooding, and water can also drain through the middle of the field.
In order to maximize the drainage potential, the field crew prepared for the rain earlier in the week.
We groom the field, and what that does is reduces compaction, and so that should enhance the drainage a little bit for today.
With the field drained, the Tigers can now look to open the floodgates for a win over Nebraska. Chad Mira, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.